Integrante do Partido das Panteras Negras, a professora e filósofa Angela Davis teve uma vida pautada pela luta pelos direitos humanos e o ativismo negro feminista. Em entrevista ao Brasil de Fato, parceiro da TVT, ela comentou sobre a luta pela terra no Brasil e o legado de seu ativismo para o movimento negro no país.
Land struggles are extremely important for people, women and men who have been deprived of their rights in society. The right to live is a basic right, and that should include land. Land struggles help us to recognize how important it is to develop alliances with indigenous people. Particularly given the ways in which indigenous people have been stewards of the land. Those of us who live in the Americas and in the Western Hemisphere are either here because our ancestors were colonized, or because our ancestors were brought here, often involuntarily, as a result of colonization. So I think it's so important to recognize these connections, these relationalities. There can be no effective struggle to free Black people or Black women without addressing the land. Well, I would say for a long time I have been impressed by the social movements here in Brazil for many years, for decades, as a matter of fact. And I feel humbled each time I visit Brazil. I always try to make the point that I think I have a great deal more to learn from people who are struggling in Brazil than they have to learn from us. The Black feminist traditions here are powerful. And I think the world should know the work of Lélia Gonzalez. The world should recognize how Black women in Brazil, and I'm specifically thinking about Luisa Barros, who began in Bahia, and I met her in the 1990s, and I watched her persistence, and I watched the work that she did in Bahia, and then of course she became the head of the Ministry of Racial Equality. Such a thing has never existed in the United States.
Gente, bora fortalecer a TVT? É só clicar em inscrever-se e depois clicar no sininho. Pronto! Assim que pintar notícia nova, você fica sabendo no ato.